Howdy there, YouTube land. This is me and my son Matt, and we're doing a review tonight. I think of Wrong Turn 6, The Last Resort. It's the unrated cut, and it's I think we belong to do this.
Yeah, it's so much. You don't even understand how much this film we belong with this film and how it's family.
I guess we should get out of the way right away that this is now pulled off the shelves. There is a scene in this movie where they kind of linger on it a little bit. A missing poster of this woman that actually did go missing and was subsequently found murdered. And they used her picture in the movie as a male, actually, as the grandfather instead of grandmother. It was an odd choice, and it was kind of... I'm hoping they didn't know what they were doing, because if they did, that would be kind of tasteless. Like, really kind of tasteless. But, let's talk about Wrong Turn 6, shall we? Well, Wrong Turn 6, Last Resort, was the start of a reimagining of the franchise. There's a lot of differences between this one and the other Wrong Turn movies, especially with the origin, which we'll get to in a little bit. This movie starts out with a really hot-looking girl and a guy, and they're going up to these hot springs in the woods. We see three fingers peeking out.
Or rather, someone dressed up in their Three Fingers Halloween costume.
Yeah, we should get that out of the way right away. The mutants or creatures inbreds in this one, they're pretty, it's like Halloween mess. There's
I stepped into like Value Village and being attacked.
The masks are horrible. They're really, really horrible. The skin color is totally different from the mask. You can tell that they are masks. And
I can't.
The budget seemed to be like a lot lower.
It's for the mansion.
Yes. Well, let's get to that in a minute. Anyway, so there's this guy. What's his name again?
Danny.
Danny, okay. Danny, and he's going up to this place, this hotel that he's inherited with his friends, because he didn't know that he had any relatives. He thought he was an orphan. And now, Danny's had a harsh life. We saw cuts on Danny's wrist. We know that Danny tried to commit suicide once. There's three...
For what? I couldn't tell. I think they mentioned it at one point, but I don't know what it was.
He was a day trader in stocks, and he lost a lot of people's money. And after he did, a lot of people saw he was in New York, and he was a trader, and he was a stockbroker. He lost a lot of people's money in the stock market, and a lot of his people that he thought were his friends kind of turned their back on him, and he got depressed and tried to commit suicide.
Okay.
The people that came to the hotel with him are the only people that kind of stayed around after the whole pariah thing from losing money.
I suppose that makes sense. That part was like I was not listening during that part.
So,
other than like the chest.
So basically, he's going there to see his family for the first time. His girlfriend is really kind of like pushing it.
He lets you know, by the way.
Oh man,
God, does he let you know? That
he is one of the...
not had a family before. He now has a family, and he's found a place where he belongs.
He's so emo.
Oh my God,
man, the guys in Death Note are not as emo as Danny in this film here.
Death Note's
nice. I love Death Note.
Death Note's really good. I prefer... Never mind, I'm going to say that.
But, okay, so it starts off with a really good... Well, not a really good killing. The first one's not. It's horrible.
First one, I don't even understand how the guy died.
Like, they're on bikes.
They're on bikes. And the man teleports away, obviously, for his bike keeps going straight forward without him on it.
For quite a while.
Yeah, he's disappeared. And they're like, oh, what happened to you? He's like, oh, I got shot.
No, he got
he says, like, I got
hacked.
Hacked?
Yeah.
By...
Hatching.
Even though they're like shooting arrows.
Chopped. I got chopped.
Yeah, I got chopped. I got chopped.
And so,
I don't know whoever phrases it like that. Like, I got attacked by someone with an axe.
Obviously,
but
when you first see it, you're like, okay, he's not going on to the next stage. So he was, you've been chopped. No, food. No.
Yeah, the first death is the weirdest death of all, I think. He gets an arrow through the cheek, /jaw, and then immediately dies. Mind you, his girlfriend gets razor wire through the face,
Great death, by the way.
pulled up, and then decapitated.
There are some great deaths in this movie. I gotta say, as bad as the as some of the masks and stuff are in this film, some of the deaths are really, really well done.
Yeah.
We are introduced to a brother and sister that don't even try to hide the fact that there's an incestuous relationship going on.
Yeah, I know.
Though I gotta say, they were probably two of the bright spots of this movie for me.
Mm-hmm. One's name was Jackson, I remember that.
Yeah, and he has a very, he's got a very old style of clothes and kind of really cool.
Jackson and Sally.
Sally, and I like both of them actually. Sally is a little over the top at times.
Yeah,
just a wee bit.
Half of the film, she sounds like she has a cold. She's got like the raspiest voice.
I think that's actually right. So.
But near the end, she suddenly chippers up and sounds like normal again.
Well, because she's getting to have sex now.
Yeah, because that was her entire like storyline.
Yeah. So anyway, we find out early on that Danny's friends are not happy with this. Oh, by the way, the hotel sprawling mansion of a place.
Yeah.
It's like
they're like, oh, is it
Southern
going to be a
Gothic
Motel 6 or something like that? It's this massive Xavier Institute ass like Coliseum of a place.
So of course his friends think it's a dump right away.
And they're thinking about how they can sell it fastest because, oh my god, are we really going to stay
shack down
here?
Yeah.
Oh,
yeah,
no.
That's the girl from Emmerdale, too. I mean,
yeah.
She's actually a soap opera star of sorts in England. She was in, actually, Lake Placid 3 as well. I don't know what her name is on here. But,
it was like Julian.
She was definitely the hottest girl in the movie, in my opinion. Aside from the girl at the beginning.
Yeah. Mind you, none of the characters are likable, really.
Yeah, there's no likable characters in the movie. Not even the girlfriend. I mean, like, she is kind of, but she just pushes it, and she's kind of whiny too. So she's not really
the friends
a likable character.
Slightly better, but they're not there enough for anything to happen with them.
Well, there's no real depth to the story. Here's the thing: this movie pretty much takes the storyline from Texas Chainsaw, except it doesn't do it right. Whether you like Texas Chainsaw or not, the thing is, the girl goes to. I did too, but we're in the minority, unfortunately.
That's
true. But the girl in Texas Chainsaw goes to the place where where she gets her inheritance, and things happen that brings her down the dark path. There's like hints at the beginning, betrayal from friends, betrayal from her boyfriend, finding out what happened to her family was actually horrible. This guy has none of that. He's just really whining.
He loves
and he just
belonging.
Immediately,
oh my God,
immediately becomes like
yeah, no, he immediately is like, is that hunting, you said?
Yes.
Shall I go hunting?
Yeah.
And immediately goes hunting, and then after that, he just complains about how this is his new belonging place and how he belongs there because his family and history and more bullshit. Until eventually, at the end, he's, spoiler alert, if you hadn't guessed it already, all like, these are my family. And his girlfriend's all like, your friends are dead. And he's like, this is my family.
Everybody dies. There's some good deaths in this movie. We gotta give it some credit.
Yeah.
The deaths are good. I am not big and sold on the New Origin. In the original Wrong Turn films, if you watch them, then you know that they become this way because of toxic waste. They're mutated, and there's been like incestuous things afterwards. But basically, it's about the mutation's been there, and the reason that they're in this area is because the toxic waste is so bad, and the mutations are so bad that everybody else is gone from Hobbs Lane.
So essentially, they continue to inbreed to
survive.
To survive.
However, in this one here, it's said that there was 3 families that came together at the end, basically founded this area.
But not just that, they founded a cult.
Yeah, and that's the thing. Anybody else that tried to come in, they kept them out, and they bred within their own bloodlines to keep their bloodlines pure, and that's the reason that they're mutated and not due to any type of mutation. And that the whole like toxic waste thing is further taken away because this resort place, even though they talk about how broken down it is at the beginning of it,
like
actually just had a ton of people there, and people come there every year. If they have big conventions weight loss conventions, by
They
the way.
mentioned presidents having been there.
Yeah.
Like, lots of people apparently go there. So this is a drastic turn from the freaking Hobbs Lane we saw before, where there's no one there, and it's completely abandoned. Also, I haven't seen 4 or 5, but no mention
Well,
to...
4 is amazing. You gotta see 4.
no mention to the old man, who was supposed to be integral to their, like, origin.
Yeah, Doug Bradley actually plays him in part 5. It's really...
I have read, though, that he's, like... in part 4 and 5, he's explained to be a serial killer that they just met up with. Which
actually, I know
which also, like,
makes a lot of
contradicts.
sense. But, you guess.
I think that's supposed
Part
to be
4 is actually really good. Yeah, have you never seen part 4?
No.
Really good. I like part 4 a lot. And part 2 and part 4, it's like Star Trek. Usually the second sequel, the even sequels are good.
I don't know, though. This one was an even sequel. This one wasn't good.
No, this was not a great movie, guys. Did I like it, though? I did enjoy it. I gotta say, as bad as it was, it made no sense to the other Robinson movies.
The last 10 minutes are probably the most, like, confusing character development I've ever seen.
It was rushed. I mean, this thing was rushed. This movie was rushed. The acting is very rushed in it. The makeup is rushed.
As rushed as it is, there's only, like, one plot point throughout the entire thing. Like, a film usually has a coherent, like, story going throughout, like,
no,
beginning, middle, and end. But this is just, it's literally just, he's gonna be part of the family. There's no, like, conflict or anything, because it's just the same thing for almost half the film.
And there's no character growth.
Family, and then someone dies.
There's zero character growth in this film at all.
Everyone,
nothing moves along. It's just, we just wait to see these people get killed in some inventive way.
Which doesn't happen until near the end. So almost half the film is just literally him saying, man, I feel like such a big family thing here. I feel so belonging.
Yes.
I get it. You're going to become evil at the end. Just get on with it.
I've got a sense of belonging. We have to stay here.
Do something.
This is my family.
Do something other than that. Jesus. Even if you're going to wait for everyone to die, don't have them all die in the last, like, 10 minutes. There's nothing to continue the, like, plot going other than more scenes of him saying, isn't this a beautiful place in which I have my family?
This is not a good movie at all. That being said, I enjoyed it. I really did enjoy, like, some of the deaths. The nudity in the movie was good. The movie itself is it's a horribly made movie. The acting is mediocre at best.
There's one clever scene.
Which one's that?
The hunting scene.
The hunting scene is really well done. There is one. There's a hunting scene that is extremely well edited, and it almost looks like it belongs in another film.
Yeah.
Because it is so high above the rest of the movie that the only thing that I can possibly think about is that they had a second unit director that shot that scene that was way above the director that made this movie.
Yeah,
that's the only thing that I can think of for
that. That's the closest thing you get to some character growth. The juxtaposition of, like, real hunting as a way of, like, explaining how they hunt people.
So well done.
Even though the scene didn't make any sense because he's randomly kill a sheriff.
And then it's followed up by another scene where his friend
just bumps into him and they go flying.
It just makes no sense.
They bumps into him, goes flying into, like, some, like, razor wire after seeing one of the creatures, which he never mentions again, by the way. He goes home, and then his girlfriend comes in and says, what's wrong? Well, he has a huge, massive gash in his leg. It's been sewed up and blood all over his face.
And there's the scenes where where his cousin, or whatever the hell she is to him, is trying to seduce him. Yeah. And, they're not bad, I guess. But the girlfriend who we're supposed to root for, I was never really rooting for her.
I don't know. She's a bit too supportive. It's just...
Yeah, she was likable and all, but I just...
Bland.
You knew everybody was going to die. It was like when you're watching Texas Chainsaw Massacre at the beginning. You kind of know that, this is the prequel. Jordana Brewster is going to get killed in the end, no matter what you think of her going to escape. It ain't going to happen. In this one here, we know that nobody is going to survive. Why? Because it's telegraphed right from the beginning.
Yeah.
We can tell that nobody's going to survive. There's no time when we question if he's going to be good or not. So at the end of the film, in the last 10 minutes of the film, when he actually tells her to run to escape, it makes no sense. It actually contradicts his character that's been set up all throughout the film.
To be fair,
there's been no sign at this point of that he still loves his girlfriend. All he wants to do is to get her out of there. He's already drank the blood of his friend, and no matter if he was drugged up or not.
The exact development of him though is goes out, meets his mutant family, freaks out a little bit, gets drunk, drugged up stuff. Does a bunch of like crazy stuff that he can't remember because his head's all messed up, which results in the death of his friend. He comes home drunk and he's all like, "Whoa!" Next time we see him is after she's done disposing of one of the family members, kind of, and he freaks out. She's like, "Your friends are dead." He's like, "It's my family. You can't attack my family." She gets threatened to be killed. He says, "No, I'll do it," and then he says, "Run." 5 seconds later, she's attacked. Like, her running consists of intercepted immediately. She kills the person who intercepts her. He immediately comes back and says, with a gun, and says, "Didn't I just tell you to run?
Yeah.
Now I'm fully evil."
He was fully evil from almost the get-go.
His motives don't make any sense.
The turn of him becoming good for 5 seconds is the part that doesn't make any sense. I would have rather seen him off her right there, because at least that would have been consistent. The movie doesn't stay consistent with any of the characters, especially this guy.
Probably just like an extra 5 seconds.
It's like,
to include death.
Run. Why did you even go there if 5 seconds later the character is going to turn on a dime again and be exactly what he was before? Are we supposed to kind of think that there's some good left in him? There's no good in him at the beginning of the movie. He's pretty much an emo character. He's not likable. He doesn't get any more likable throughout the film. He gets more and more less likable. You're watching this movie here because the nudity is good and because the kills are inventive. That's why you watch Wrong Turn. You do not watch it for a storyline. You do not watch it because you think it's good. It's going to have some massively great plot line. You're watching this because there are some great breasts in this film, and there's some cute girls, and there's some decent kills. Is it a good movie? No, it's not going to be a good movie. It's not going to win an Oscar. Hell, I don't even think it's going to win a Razzie. But Wrong Turn 6 is a movie that I'm glad to have in my collection. I've got all the Wrong Turn films. Will I watch this one again? Yes, but not as much as I would watch Part 4 or Part 2.
Watch this one again.
But I will watch this one more than Part 3. Part 3 was horrible.
We fell asleep during Part 3.
Yes, I did.
Both of us were like, we're going to do Part 3 now. And then we both fell asleep.
And Cass was up watching about
it. We woke up afterwards and we're like, oh, Part 3 got over. That's good.
So luckily my daughter managed to
stay awake for that one. Cause, honestly. This one was easier to stay awake through because, I mean, at least it's
fast. How long was this one? 91 minutes. Like I say, 91 minutes, it went pretty fast.
It did. Mostly because it was all one note.
Yeah, but it wasn't boring. As one note as this movie was, and, as we can say, as bad as this movie was, as one note as this movie was, it was pretty interesting to watch. It was a great train wreck. This is like, I think you would watch this one again, actually.
I don't know.
I don't think about it.
I'd watch it with someone else.
Watch with a friend or something like that for a laugh. This is like a troll type of movie. You're going to watch it for the badness. You're going to watch it for a bit of the nudity and stuff. Like, oh, look, that girl's kind of cute. She's like, half the cast in this, I think, is supposed to be English, but they're basically masking their accents.
Except for in the beginning for some reason. The first two people are like shamelessly British, and I was like, oh, are we doing a full British thing this time? And no, we're not, apparently.
And then the rest of them just hide their British accents. The girl from Emmerdale, for instance.
Yeah.
She was hot.
God,
a 9, but hot. She was really hot.
She was one of the few characters that got any development. Like, it had lines or anything. It was all awful lines.
I like her, though. I liked her. I disliked her. I mean, I should have disliked her. And I think you're supposed to. She's supposed to be, the bitchy one. And you do kind of roll your eyes.
Hard.
They really, really try. But she's a gorgeous lady. And she just doesn't. I think she does one of the better performances in the film for what she has to do. She is the bitchy character that she's supposed to be. But the script is working against her, and that's not her fault. And she gets one of the most unique deaths in the movie, that's for sure.
What the hell was that?
They just ripped off her leg.
They're there and they just crack her leg off. It's not even like a ripping off; it's a cracking of her leg, as if it was like.
There were some pretty, like, gross scenes in this one.
There was some pretty gross scenes.
Like the effects. Now, don't get me wrong, the effects on this were pretty bad. Some of the blood is CGI'd, which I do not like, but they do a decent job of actually putting this together.
Yeah.
So Wrong Turn 6, guys. If you can actually pick it up still, it's worth the pickup. It's worth like checking out for sure. If you have the other Wrong Turn movies, put this one in your collection. This is a restart of the series. I would hope that if they do a Wrong Turn 7, maybe get a different director for one. And I'd like to see the...
Back Danny.
Yeah, no, I don't want Danny brought back. The guy that I would have liked to see him brought back, he killed off in this one.
Yeah.
The one actor that I thought was going to be a nice new constant, the kind of the hitchhiker of the films. But fun movie. There's like a cool little thing like where it shows all the kills in them hills, which is all the death scenes from all the different Wrong Turn movies. So that's kind of cool. There's also a couple of more featurettes that we did watch, but I guess we got to rate it.
Yeah, I guess.
So what do you think?
A movie out of 10.
Come on, you got to give it like be inventive with it.
I don't know. I just was. It was a 5 out of 10. If I was gonna do it out of 10.
Okay, I'm gonna give this one
mostly because it's just like it's a movie. It's not terrible, like say the first Wrong Turn was, or the third Wrong Turn.
The first one was good.
I still hate the first one. I still think the second one should have been the first one.
I give this one 4.
4 is as good as you said it.
4 hot springs out of 10.
Oh, look at that.
I didn't think this was a great movie. I mean, I enjoyed watching it, but that being said, it is badly written. A lot of the acting is kind of mediocre, but I think I could last through it all that if the effects were just a little bit better, but they're not. There are some decent actors in this. There are some bad actors in this. But no, okay, I'm gonna give it a solid 5. I'm gonna give it a solid 5 rubber masks out of 10. Because this Wrong Turn here, as bad as it is, did not once did I get up to get any tea or get a snack or anything like that. And I actually thought of it. Actually, no, I never even thought of it doing it. Because I was there from the beginning of the movie to the last of the movie. Invested in every bad second of this film.
Oh, and it was every bad second.
Oh, yes, it was. Go out and enjoy Wrong Turn 6 if you can find it. It has been taken off the shelves, like we mentioned right at the beginning. And for me right now, for the Professor, the Giant Lobster Head, and for Matthew, it's time for tea.
Is there any... Oh, I can think of a memorable line from this one.
Do you have one?
It's my family. They're my family. Your friends are dead. This is my family. You can't shoot my family.
Oh, yes, Danny. Yes, we can.
Danny, no. My family. It's my family, though.